Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. The beta for the January update recently hit these servers and it brought with it a number of bug and stability fixes. In addition to that, there was a couple of highlights that did stand out. The first was a change to exploration. The second was a change to hired crew. Now I'm going to look at the changes to exploration first here, and this, as with many things with Elite, can be a very slow process, at least to discover anything you want. And this particular change is in relation to finding geological or biological surface sites. So the way this has always worked, at least up until now, is that when you find a suitable candidate planet with geological surface sites or biological surface sites, you get a scanning system going on in the top right hand corner there, and this can spin for upwards of 30 seconds as it locates the geological surface sites. And the reason for this is because these are being generated during this process. The game is actually creating them. Now, this is far from ideal. In fact, on the issue tracker, where Frontier track issues and bugs and many other such things, this was one of the highest voted problems, with one of the most players asking for it to actually be fixed. Now, Frontier's solution is not exactly a complete solution, it's more of a compromise, and you can see here, instead of the scanning feature, we now have geological likely. And this can actually be a range of descriptions. It could say geological unlikely, likely, or very likely, depending on what the game actually thinks is possible here. These descriptions also have a percentage range of possibilities, so very likely is greater than 90%, likely is between 60 to 90%, and unlikely is less than 60%. So essentially what's happening is that the game is skipping the degeneration part, and it's going to do that later on as you fly towards the planet. In short, what this means is you save a good amount of time as the scanning process no longer happens, so you can save upwards of 30 seconds for every type of planet that has geological surface features. However, it also adds the potential problem that when you get over to the planet, there may be no geological sites there. Basically, the process is no longer guaranteed, and you're more in the hands of RNG. Now, in both these cases, I did test these particular planets, as you can see here. Very nice location, actually, with these two planets orbiting very close together. There was also a gas giant very close in the background, which I've got footage of, and we'll put that together in an exploration video for a later date. But meanwhile, as to the likelihood of geological surface sites on these planets, well, it said that that was likely, and it turns out there was indeed 25 surface sites here. Of course, you can find these through the use of the surface scanner. Now, for the moment at least, this is not a guaranteed change. It's something that Frontier are testing out. They want to see how it works, and they also want to gather feedback from the players. So the options are to put up with the existing system, where there's a slight delay on scanning each particular system, but you get a guarantee of what's on the planet, or make it a quicker process, but you're not guaranteed what you may or may not find. It's something that's well worth experimenting with and spending some time to see which system is actually better. Personally, I prefer the old method, but your mileage will certainly vary. And bottom line, to know for sure which system is actually best is going to take a little bit of testing. But do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also let me know if you've actually experimented. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's move on to the other change, which is an improvement to hired crew. Now I want to briefly start off with some background here, because hired crew are one of the biggest inconsistencies in Elite Dangerous, both in terms of lore and in terms of functionality. So basically, these guys are the ones that you hire when you want to pilot your fighter ships. They will actually do that for you. Alternatively, if you get into a fighter ship, they will pilot your main ship. Now the inconsistency here is that if your ship explodes, these people actually die. Now in the past this has been explained away by them not having escape capsules, which seems rather strange as everybody else on board your ship, including passengers, do have escape capsules. The other strange thing is that no matter where you go, the crew are always waiting for you on board the next station, as long as that station has a crew lounge. So even if they're not active on board your ship, you can make them active simply by visiting absolutely any station on the galaxy and setting them as active. So quite clearly, they are either aboard your ship all the time, or they can magically teleport to any station. Now all that is besides the point. The main issue here is that when your ship explodes, these people die, and people invest quite a lot of time into NPC hired crew. They get them from their initial rank all the way up to elite, which does take some significant time, and when they die, they're gone. You can't do anything about that. Well, Frontier have clearly rethought about this because hired crew can now be repurchased as part of an insurance package. So basically, they now get an escape capsule. Now, I'm sure there's a few people out there who are going to say that Frontier are dumbing the game down with this mechanic and removing any risk, but the fact of the matter is that they are making the game consistent with all other aspects of the lore and game mechanics. So in my mind, this is a very good move, both in terms of giving some more consistency to the game, as well as removing one of the most harsh penalties that the game actually has, which really was a bit on the extreme size. So that's two of the changes coming with this Elite Dangerous January update. We'll have a further look at some others in another video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.